Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. It had been requested by one of my viewers several months ago to do more videos on the open borders and the fentanyl situation. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The fentanyl situation that is a part of this open border crisis. And I responded that I had done a video in reference to the drug cartels putting fentanyl or traces of fentanyl in Skittles. And but he had requested that I do more, and so I said, because it's a real crisis. I said, okay, I'm going to do that, but I can't do it unless there's news on the fentanyl situation. But what I found out in an article from Epoch Times is that the Mexican drug cartels are targeting Montana with fentanyl due to high profits. So, and that some Republicans are blaming the Biden administration for this influx of fentanyl into our country due to his loose border policies. So I'm going to get right into this article right now, and then I'm going to give you my detailed opinion of what's going on. The title of the article is Mexican Cartels Targeting Montana with Fentanyl Because of High Profits. Mexican drug cartels crossing the southern border are targeting the U.S. state of Montana with fentanyl because there are, quote, tremendous profits to be made there, according to officials. Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen told Fox News that the number of fentanyl deaths in the state has been drastically increasing since 2020, and that intelligence has shown that drug cartels from Mexico have been specifically targeting Montana to bolster their profits. Since 2020, our crime lab confirmed fentanyl deaths increased 1,100%, Knudsen said on June 22nd. That is a shame. And I'm going to read a few. It says, fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opiate used to treat severe pain, but it is also highly addictive. And this kind of shows you to some extent that these very powerful drugs can be used for good. They can be used for good. But it's when you take when you take natural processes and abuse them is when it becomes a problem. So I'm going to read some other stuff here. Here it talks about how addictive this drug is. It says, meanwhile, Dr. Robert Sheriff, the chief medical officer for Community Medical Services, which operates 4 opiate treatment centers in Montana and 46 others nationwide, told Fox that around 70% of the patients that visit his centers have an opiate use disorder and test positive for fentanyl. And that's a major problem here, even in the city of Cleveland, where I reside. I mean, it's a major problem. And I talk to many of the Cleveland police officers, and they tell me that this is one of the major issues in our city. I do security at Tower City on bike patrol, and oftentimes a lot of the people that come around there that seem to be messed up in their heads, a lot of these people are on drugs, and fentanyl is one of them. The article goes on to say, if someone has a serious addiction to an opiate, whether it's fentanyl or any other opiate, they really need to get into treatment. They need to get on medication, Sheriff said, adding that individuals with fentanyl addiction have a lower chance of successfully completing rehab compared to other opiates owing to fentanyl's highly addictive nature. According to data from the nonprofit group Families Against Fentanyl, published in February, fatalities from the drug have more than doubled in 30 states in just 2 years and more than tripled in 15 states. The per capita rate of fentanyl deaths was highest in West Virginia in 2021 with 64.4 fentanyl deaths per 100,000 West Virginians, while Florida had the highest total number of fentanyl deaths in 2021 with 5,161. That was followed closely by California with a total of 5,123 fentanyl deaths last year. Now get this. Fentanyl is now the number one cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45, according to Families Against Fentanyl. Montana Congressman Matt Rosendahl, a Republican, has previously pointed to the Biden administration's failed immigration policies for the increase in fentanyl sales in the states. Biden and the Democrats' open border policies have allowed for fentanyl to flow across our borders and into our neighborhoods, Rosendale wrote on Twitter in March. Montana experienced a major increase in fentanyl deaths as a consequence. Our communities are less safe because of Biden's failed leadership. The Biden administration has vowed to combat the fentanyl overdose epidemic in America through harm reduction programs, expanded treatment, and disrupting drug traffickers' supply chains. You need to just close the border like Trump did, was attempting to do. But I just wanted to read that there. And I know that's pretty somber news there. But in order for a problem to be fixed, you have to address the problem. We can't ignore it, even though it's negative. We can't ignore it. It has to be addressed. Now, I said this in the video before that I did on the drug situation at the border, is that prior to Trump getting in office, and I'll say this again, prior to Trump getting in office, both Republicans and Democrats talked the talk, but they didn't walk the walk. You had rhinos, if you want to call them rhinos, Republicans in name only. You had Republicans and Democrats both talking the talk. And I've seen videos of these individuals talking the talk and not walking the walk. We need to do something about the border. We need to do something about the border. And it's amazing how the American people fall for this stuff time and time again. We'll vote for these people. They'll sit up and tell us one thing. They get in office and lie. And then we go on about our regular business like nothing's going on. So for 4 straight years, we go through hell and high water with these politicians. And we wash away their stinking policies with drinking, sex, drugs, and everything, and movies and entertainment. And it's almost like we put a Band-Aid on through all this entertainment. We use entertainment as a way as a salve to our minds and spirits and souls and emotions to comfort ourselves from the messed up policies of these politicians until the next election cycle comes around. And then they do the same thing, campaign, tell us lies, we vote for them, and then we go through the same thing again. It's about high time Americans start meditating more on factual data rather than entertainment. Nothing wrong with entertainment, but entertainment someone said this about entertainment. Said the word entertain the root word for entertain means to distract. And what am I saying? I'm saying that a lot of this entertainment, I believe, in my personal opinion, is used by the elites to distract people from the bigger issues politically. And then when it comes time for election time, like the midterms or presidential election or the election for mayors or the election for governors or whatever, then they start campaigning, talking about what they're going to do. They start taking advantage of situations and circumstances to make themselves look good. So all of a sudden, Americans like, oh, okay, it's time to vote. Let me just cast my vote based on the party that I'm in. I don't care about policies. I don't care about what's really going on. I'm just going to vote. But it's high time, I believe, for Americans to wake up and smell the coffee. To wake up and start saying, okay, wait a minute. I've been entertained my way to the point where I can't even think straight. Nothing wrong with entertainment. I like entertainment. I watch. I'm a movie person. But every now and then we got to get out of the entertainment, man, so we can and start reading some books and studying politics and studying American government and studying politics and studying studying these policies of these politicians, so that when it comes time to make changes in our community and changes in our country, we'll do so based on knowledge and not emotion. And so based on this situation here, going back to the situation with these politicians, they talk the talk, but they didn't walk the walk. It wasn't until Trump got in office. Now, a lot of people argue what they want to argue, but the deal is here. When Trump got in office, he really did some things. He really did some things. And one of the things he did was he began to attempt to build a border wall. And he was in an attempt of building a border wall, not because he was racist against other people, but he was trying to protect the American people. That's what I believe he was trying to do. It sickens me and disgusts me when another politician like these Democrats get in office and completely undo everything he did. Look at where our country is. Look at where our country is. No one can say that has a brain can say that we better off than we was before, that we're better off now under the Biden administration than we were when we were under the Trump administration. Tell me how. Tell me what policies that Biden is putting forth right now that's so great for this country. They say that its ratings is at a 32% or 36% I don't even know why it's there. Because what that suggests to me is It should be at 0%, because what that suggests to me is there are still a bunch of blind people out there that think Biden is doing something good for the country. What is it? What policies that he's doing that's good for this country? Name it. What is he doing that's benefiting you and I as American people? What is he doing? The only people, in my opinion, that I believe that says he's rah, he's doing something is his donors and the special interest groups. These far left loonies out here with pink hair and pink and blue hair and rah, and for whatever. Them the only ones that think that they say he's doing something. And in their sense, he is doing something, because he's pushing for transgenderism and all this other kind of stuff, to the point where all the other things that he needs to be pushing for, like the military and the border crisis and all of these other things that need to be talked about and need to be addressed, he's not really addressing. He'll talk the talk, but he's not walking the walk, just like a lot of these past politicians have done. It's high time for American people, in my opinion, to start waking up, man. It's time for people to start waking up and stop being entertained to sleep. That's what I think. So what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think this situation here with the border crisis, fentanyl, and the Mexican cartels targeting Montana due to profits is based on Biden's loose border policies? In my opinion, I think it is. I think it is a part of that. And I think that this can be stopped if the American people will begin to wake up. I mean, all American people, not just people on the right, but people on the left and people to get all together, because really the politicians or the elite are trying to keep us all divided. They're trying to keep us all divided. And if we can all come together and embrace true American values and embrace the Constitution and know the Constitution, do you know a significant number of Americans don't know the Constitution? And the politicians know that. They know that the significant number of Americans don't know the Constitution. That's why they get up here and say stupid stuff like, if the Republicans win the Senate, it's the end of democracy. First of all, America is not a democracy. It's a republic, a representative republic. It's not a democracy. But they use them terms, democracy, because they know a significant number of Americans don't even know the Constitution. But it's high time that Americans start educating themselves. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again on another Black Conservative.